Yo, inside SSL game recaps for week 2. First game, Isaac, AVA versus KL Rhinos. How did it go?
Oh, it was an amazing game. We had at least 80 points in the paint, and it was a good game for us. We had at least we are shooting at least 50% from the 3-point line, while AVA struggles from the 3-point line with 0%.
Yeah, hopefully they can bounce back next week.
Yeah, and they have never led throughout the entire game. It was all thanks to KL Rhinos' big man leading the way for us.
Next game was my team, Bandwagons versus the free agent Mercenaries. I couldn't be around, unfortunately. Isaac, how did we do?
Bandwagon started off strong, like there's no difference whether you were there or not. They had at least 53 points from the bench, as though the bench were the main starting 5 of the Bandwagon, and only 17 points from the Mercenaries, so Mercenaries still struggle from securing the first win.
All right, next game was Atlas Ballers versus KL Twin Towers. I think they were both 1-0 coming into the game. There was a head-to-head matchup here.
Yeah, it felt like a Rocker Park one-on-one game between Jackson Lagaway and Iggy. So Jackson had 32 points for Atlas Ballers, and Iggy, on the other hand, had 33 points. So it was definitely a back-to-back battle between these two guys. The rest of the teams, I don't see them existing anywhere because it's mostly just these two guys.
Old-fashioned one-on-one. The next game was defending champs, Advanced Pro versus IceKL. I heard it was a close one.
Advanced Pro trailed in the first quarter, so IceKL Panther had a huge, good start thanks to their big man, core man, Justin Han, their captain. But slowly and surely, Advanced Pro crawled their way back into the game and eventually results in another win for
Advanced Pro,
defending champion.
All right, next one was the game of the weekend, Ligers versus Knights. We knew this was going to be a good one going into it.
Yes, as expected, it was a super close game, but Knights were actually doing super good in the first half. They were leading, everybody was contributing into the stat sheet, everybody was putting up points, but Ligers woken up in the second half. Knights should have awakened the beast Apostle Paul, who had at least 33 points overall, and he was on fire after the second half. He never looked back. He smoked the Knights, get them off their horses, and Ligers managed to get their lunch meal.
I caught the second half of that. I think Paul had 21 in the third quarter, right? You guys got to catch that replay. And the last game of the weekend, the first game for Go Strong, playing against Young Gunners looking for their first win. Isaac.
And Atlas Ballers again struggling to secure the first win.
Young Gunners.
So Young Gunners again struggling to secure their first win in season 12. Go Strong started off strong and never looked back again. Akil, everybody, their whole roster came and demolished the Young Gunners. There was nothing much to say about that. I mean, both teams had fun for sure. It was like a practice day for Go Strong.
Go Strong. And that's our recap for week 2 of SSL. Make sure you catch all the replays if you missed it on Statsports League YouTube or on Huddle. And we are out. Almost hit the camera.
Welcome to SSL Stats section, where I am Ming and I will be bringing you through all the league leaders of SSL12. Come look at my board. For the top scorer award, we've got Aggie leading the pack with 41.5 points, who had a back and forth game with Jackson Lagaway this week, who is up among the contenders. The other two players averaging over 30 points over 2 games is Benjamin Nigerian God Olajide and the Apostle Paul. And now we look at the top rebounders of SSL 12. Nigerian god Benjamin Olajide again leading the pack with 14 rebounds, and we see some repeat players here. Iggy and Jackson also ranking up there in rebounds. Abdullah So will be there at the end of the season, considering he was the defensive player of the year in SSL Season 10. And finally, a surprise from the Mercenaries, Zong is also up there with 11 rebounds per game. And now we look at the premier setup man of SSL12, Ahmad Ejidalibi leading the charts with 5.5 assists again. Kazuki Kawata, I recently learned that he plays golf as well, but he assists well on the court as well. Rowan Pierce, Isaac Go, and Benjamin Olajide surprising on the KL Rhinos, leading all three of them, ranking top 10 in assists in the SSL12 now. And now we take a look at the defensive stats. Top blocks, is there any surprise? It goes to Ali Unian, the 6'9.5" Gambian center with 2.5 blocks per game. I think he's gonna be the top shot blocker of SSL12. Yida Lido and Muhammad Akil giving him some competition. And for the steals leader, it goes to the Apostle with 4.5 steals per game, leading the league, showing he can contribute on the defensive end as well as the offensive end. Luka Huncic and Kabildo averaging 6 steals after 1 game of play. And that is all for SSL Stats Wrap Up. We are out. We'll see you next time.
Alright, we have the power rankings for Statsports League Season 12 Week 2. And it's an interesting one for all the 12 teams. How we determine the power rankings is pretty much the win-lose record and also their schedule and the latest results last weekend. Without further ado, let's go through it. Number 1 is Evans Pro. So Evans Pro is obviously has an unbeaten run since season God knows when. So that's why they're still number 1 ranked. It's obvious. Number 2, we have KL Rhinos. KL Rhinos has won the last 2 games, and it's nice to see them back again. Number 3 is Bandwagon, also has a 2-0 run, but their schedule will be a bit tough in the coming weeks. So let's see where they land in the power rankings at the end. Ligers and Knights land at 4 and 5. Obviously, Ligers is on top of Knights because they beat Knights last weekend. Number 6 and 7 is Alice Ballers and KL Twin Towers. Although KL Twin Towers started very strong in the first game with Aggie scoring like 51 points, but since they lost to Alice Ballers during the weekend, so Alice Ballers got 1 up against them. Next we have Go Strong and ISKL Panthers. Go Strong played their first game and it's a very easy win for them. ISKL Panthers lost the second game in a row, but let's hope that the last 3 games of the season they could do better, which I think they could. They're a very good team. Then we have number 10, Mercenaries. The free agents are still getting their groove, but they have a lot of talent. The next 3 games will be quite exciting to see where they land in the power rankings as well. And the last 2 teams are AVA and Young Gunners. AVA played their first game, had a tough one against KL Rhinos. They were trumped about maybe 80 points difference. And the last one, Young Gunners, they really lost 2 games in a row. For the young team, I hope that they will rise at least maybe number 9 in the power rankings when they end the season. So that's our power rankings for week 2.
Week 2 of SSL 12 was just over. Week 3 is up next. Watch out for this game previews.
KL Twin Towers versus KL Rhinos.
We can only have 1 KL representative. Expect the Rhinos to win, but never underestimate the power of Aguirdas Keblikas.
Bandwagon versus Ligers.
Will we see who is the true contenders or pretenders? If the Ligers win, they regain their position as a title contender. If Bandwagon wins, will they be a dark horse contenders for the title?
AVA versus Young Gunners.
Kickstarter campaign. These 2 winless teams will battle it out for their first win of this season.
ISKL Panthers versus Mercenaries.
Who's gonna go back to school on a Sunday? These winless teams will battle out in an exciting game for the first win of their season and glory.
Knights versus Advanced Pro.
Can the Knights overcome defending champions Advanced Pro? Will they be able to do it without Coach Dre? Will Coach Dre be back in time?
Atlas Ballers versus Go Strong.
Go Strong proceeds to level 2. After defeating Young Gunners, they take on another young team, but a better Atlas Ballers this time.